In this story, you will learn 6 important English words: lease, furniture, neighbor, boxes, deposit, and unpack. Listen carefully and enjoy the story. Sarah stood outside a tall apartment building. She looked up at the windows. Today was a big day. She was moving to a new apartment. She had a lot of things to do. But first, she felt very excited. 1 month before, Sarah had signed a lease. A lease is a legal agreement between a person and the owner of an apartment. It says how long you can live there and how much you must pay. Sarah's lease was for 1 year. She agreed to pay rent every month. She felt happy when she signed it. Before she could move in, Sarah paid a deposit. A deposit is money you pay at the start. The owner keeps it in case you damage anything in the apartment. Sarah paid 2 months of rent as her deposit. It was a lot of money, but she saved for a long time, so she was ready. Now, on moving day, a big truck was parked outside the building. The truck was full of boxes. Boxes are containers made of cardboard that people use to carry their things when they move. Sarah had many boxes. She had boxes for her books. She had boxes for her kitchen things. She had boxes for her clothes. 2 friends came to help her. Their names were Tom and Lisa. They were strong and kind. They carried the boxes from the truck to the elevator. The elevator was small. They could only carry a few boxes at one time. Sarah's new apartment was on the 5th floor. When the elevator opened, she walked down the hallway. She found door number 502. She put the key in the lock. She turned it slowly. The door opened. The apartment was empty. The floors were clean and light. The walls were white. It felt like a fresh start. The apartment had no furniture yet. Furniture means the large objects in a home, like a sofa, a bed, a table, and chairs. Without furniture, a room feels very big and quiet. Sarah's furniture was coming the next day. A separate delivery truck would bring everything. For now, she only had her boxes. Tom and Lisa carried all the boxes inside. They put them in different rooms. Sarah told them where each box should go. After the last box was inside, Tom sat on the floor. He was tired. Lisa laughed and sat next to him. Sarah made tea for everyone. She found her small kettle in a box. She was happy she could find it so fast. They sat on the floor together and drank tea. They talked and laughed. It was a simple but happy moment. After a while, Tom and Lisa said goodbye. Sarah thanked them many times. She hugged them at the door. Now Sarah was alone in her new home. She walked slowly through each room. She imagined how it would look with furniture. Suddenly, she heard a knock at the door. She was a little surprised. She did not expect anyone. She opened the door. A man was standing there. He was smiling and holding a small plant. He said, "Hello, I am David. I am your neighbor." A neighbor is a person who lives very close to you, often in the same building or on the same street. David lived in apartment 501, right next door. He said, "Welcome to the building. I brought you this plant for your new home." Sarah smiled. She thought it was very kind. She took the plant and thanked him. David said, "If you need anything, please knock on my door." Sarah said, "Thank you very much, David." After David left, Sarah put the plant on the windowsill. She looked at it and smiled. Her new home was already starting to feel warm. That night, Sarah slept on a sleeping bag on the floor. She had no bed yet, but she did not mind. She felt peaceful. The next morning, the furniture arrived. 2 delivery workers brought everything up in the elevator. They were careful and professional. First, they brought the bed. Then, they brought the sofa. Then, they brought the dining table and 4 chairs. Sarah told them where to put everything. She said, "Please put the sofa near the window." The apartment was beginning to look like a real home. After the workers left, it was time to unpack. To unpack means to take things out of boxes and put them in their proper places. Sarah started with the kitchen boxes. She took out her plates and cups. She put them carefully on the shelves. Then she unpacked her books. She had many books. She put them on a wooden bookshelf next to the window. Then she unpacked her clothes. She hung them carefully in the wardrobe. Everything had a new place now. Sarah worked for many hours. By the afternoon, most of the boxes were empty. She felt a little tired, but very satisfied. She sat on her sofa for the first time. It was comfortable. She looked around the room. It looked beautiful. David knocked on the door again later that evening. He said, "I am making pasta. Would you like to join me for dinner?" Sarah said yes. She was hungry and happy to have a kind neighbor. They had a simple dinner together. David told her about the building. He said the laundry room was on the first floor. He said the supermarket was just 2 streets away. Sarah listened carefully. She was learning many useful things. She felt lucky to have a helpful neighbor. After dinner, Sarah went back to her apartment. She made herself a cup of tea. She sat on the sofa with her warm cup. She looked at the plant on the windowsill. She looked at the books on the shelf. She looked at the warm light in the room. She thought about the lease she had signed. She thought about the deposit she had paid. She thought about all the boxes she had unpacked. It was a lot of work, but now everything was done. She was home. She felt calm and happy. She thought, "I am going to love living here." She finished her tea and went to sleep. Now, let us review the 6 key words from today's story. This will help you remember them. The first word is lease. A lease is a legal agreement to rent a place to live. Sarah signed a lease for 1 year. The second word is deposit. A deposit is money you pay at the beginning of a rental. It protects the owner if something is damaged. The third word is boxes. Boxes are cardboard containers used to carry and move things. Sarah had many boxes when she moved. The fourth word is furniture. Furniture means the large objects in a home, like a bed, sofa, or table. Sarah's furniture arrived the day after she moved in. The fifth word is neighbor. A neighbor is a person who lives near you in the same building or street. David was Sarah's kind neighbor. The sixth word is unpack. To unpack means to take things out of boxes and put them in their correct places. Sarah spent hours unpacking her new home. You did a great job today. You listened to a full story and you learned 6 useful English words. Every story you hear makes your English stronger. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to Fluent Story English. New stories are waiting for you. We will see you in the next one.